Hello everyone, welcome to your new favorite cricket fan channel, Willow and Leather. This is Shravan here with you. IPL 2024 is just around the corner, so I thought I'll make a few series of preview videos, kind of walking through each team, how they line up, what has changed for them from last year to this year, and my predicted starting lineup for the teams, and my overall predictions on where they might end up in the table this time around. So I'll go through each team one after the other. So we'll make probably a bunch of different videos covering separate teams. But I thought as the first part of this series here in the build up to IPL 2024, which better team to start with than the defending champions, Chennai Super Kings. So let's take a few minutes to talk about the team this time around. Cool. So I've made a few notes here, so I'll kind of walk through them very quickly, just to kind of recap. Fairy tale season once again for CSK last year. That finish, that picture perfect finish for them at the end with that chase, 10 runs needed of the last two balls, and in comes Jadeja basically there stepping up and getting the team over the line. Absolutely fairy tale ending for CSK last season, and it's not a new sight for folks to be seeing in the IPL. Chennai Super Kings has by far been the most consistent team of the Indian Premier League over the several years, finishing in the finals 10 times and winning 5 out of those finals. Absolutely wonderful record when you think about it. Of the 14 years or so that they've played, they've made it to the finals 10 times, and that is no mean feat. Right? When you think about CSK, it all starts and ends with that one man, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. The guy's turned 42 years old now, but he's still competitive. He's still looking like he wants more. He's hungry for more, and he's back again this season. Back with long hair again, so that's a sight that we haven't seen in a few years now. But he's looking great, and I did catch a couple of clips of him batting in the nets in preparation for this campaign, and he looks to be in pretty good touch. Doesn't look like that knee injury that plagued him last season is around anymore, so that's definitely a positive sign for the team. And I'm sure Thala's fans will want to see him batting a lot more than he did last season. Even with the few deliveries that he played every game last season, he was still able to set the stage on fire. But the fans will be hoping for more from Dhoni's bat this time around. All right, let's talk about a few key changes from last season. Ben Stokes, who they had bought last year for a pretty handsome sum, didn't really work out for them, was plagued by injury within the first couple of games, and pretty much had to sit out the rest of the tournament. And Deepak Chahar had like an on and off season with respect to his injuries as well. But despite that, despite two key players not being available for most of the tournament, they somehow still found a way to finish in the top 2 and eventually win the title as well. And that just goes to show what a well-oiled machine this Chennai Super Kings team is, what a master tactician Mahendra Singh Dhoni is. So I'm sure the team will be hoping for more of the same. But in the auction, they did go ahead and make a few key purchases. They brought back Shardul Thakur, so the Lord is back playing at Chepauk again. I'm sure a lot of fans will love to see him playing this time around. They brought in Rachin Ravindra, promising young left-hander from New Zealand. We all saw what he did during the World Cup in India late last year, and I'm sure he'll add a lot of value to the team as well. Daryl Mitchell, I think he's going to be a very key addition to this team. Just the kind of player that Dhoni loves, including in his team. Does a little bit of both batting and bowling, can come in and give you a couple of overs in those crunch moments, and with the bat he's been in devastating form in the last couple of years, so I think he's definitely a very, very key addition to this team here. They also brought in an uncapped player, Samir Rizvi. I'm not sure how many of us had heard of him before this auction, but CSK have clearly done some research on him, and they felt it was worth splurging a big amount of cash on him. 20-year-old, I think he's from UP, has been setting the domestic scene on fire with some big hitting, and I think that's what he's known for. But again, one of those guys that I think will benefit greatly from the leadership camp in CSK, and I'm sure he'll have some or the other role to play this season. If not, I'm sure he's still very young, so I'm sure he'll have like more opportunities to make an impact down the line as well. Right, so those are the key additions. So I think they've made some very, very smart purchases this time around. When they brought in Rachin Ravindra, I was like, where exactly would he fit into this roster? But as it so happens, unfortunately for CSK, Devon Conway is ruled out at least for the first several weeks of the tournament with a thumb injury, and I think he's getting a surgery done for that. So he's going to be out at least for the first 6 weeks, might be out for the entire tournament as well. So that is definitely a massive blow for the Chennai Super Kings. But that's where I feel like someone like Rachin Ravindra probably just steps into that role. And I think the think tank of CSK has done a pretty good job in terms of nailing their picks in the auction. I think they were very clear on what they wanted to bring in and what gaps to fill based on last year's performance, and I think they've kind of filled some of those gaps there. Right, nothing's changed much from the support staff. I think Stephen Fleming and Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I think they have like a fantastic partnership. They work very well together, and there is no reason to make any changes there. And I'm sure they'll be very comfortable and happy with the squad that they've assembled, and they'll look to do more again this season as well. Right, so let's quickly maybe talk about a few strengths of this team. I think I've touched upon a few already, but one key thing that stands out for me is the depth in their squad, with replacements being available for most of the key positions. For example, like I just mentioned, even with Devon Conway out, someone like Rachin Ravindra can come in and fill that role right at the top of the order, left-hander again. He's still fairly young, and he's not played in the IPL before, but I think under the guidance of Dhoni and the rest of the leadership team there, I think he'll feel very comfortable enough to come and express himself. And that seems to be the theme for CSK. I think they're probably the only team where people just find second winds in their sails and are able to make a comeback in their careers or reinvent themselves. It's such a unique skill that Mahendra Singh Dhoni has, identifying specific areas for key players and encouraging them to explore certain areas of their skills which they probably haven't been well known for previously, and kind of making sure that they understand their roles and basically have that freedom to be able to express themselves. We've seen it with the likes of Ajinkya Rahane. We all saw what kind of a season he had last year, being able to just go out and explode at number 3 for CSK with very, very clear instructions on, hey, just go out and be all out attacking, and that has paid rich dividends for him and the team. Similarly, we've seen the resurgence of Shivam Dubey as well, who struggled a little bit across a couple of franchises previously, but at CSK, he seems to have a very, very specific goal to be able to take the attack to the spinners in the middle overs and just keeping that momentum going through those middle overs as well. And those kinds of roles, I think Dhoni does an excellent job of identifying folks for those kind of positions and giving them the encouragement and the clarity of thought to be able to pursue those areas of training, to be able to specially focus on those areas. So that's definitely a strength for them as well. They are just a team that knows how to win, right? At Chepauk, at the Chennai Stadium, they are just unbeatable to quite an extent. Very rarely do teams come and find themselves at ease at Chepauk. So they definitely are one of those teams who have made their home ground a fortress. So 7 games or whatever it is that they play at their home ground, you would really fancy them to win at least 5 or 6 of them during most seasons, and they've built their squad to be able to utilize those conditions effectively as well. So that's where I think they have an advantage, and one way or the other, they have some different player in each game stepping up, putting their hand up. It's not the same usual suspects, not the same set of 4 or 5 people that are contributing to the results every single game. Every single match, there is like a different person who will be that game changer, and it doesn't have to be a massive impact as well. A quick 25-30 here or there, a quick couple of middle overs slipped in between where they're able to either control the run flow or just pick up a crucial wicket. Those are the kind of small impacts that eventually make the whole performance very, very, very amazing to watch. So those are their strengths. Biggest strength obviously being Mahendra Singh Dhoni. How many more years does he have left in him? Time will tell. I don't think anyone can answer that question. A few years ago, we would have all been justified to assume that he was pretty much done with the IPL, but year after year he turns the clock back, he comes back, and he still seems fairly fit, barring the knee injury last year. I think he's still got it in him to be able to play at this competitive level, and just the mindset and the approach with which he takes the game on, I think that is CSK's biggest strength, and it's no secret, right? A couple of quick weaknesses that I wanted to call out as well. Firstly, obviously, Devon Conway's injury. That I think is a big blow. Yes, we do have folks who can step in and kind of fill certain gaps, but with Dhoni's knee injury last year, I'm not sure how much comfortable he is keeping this time around. So I would have figured that Devon Conway would have been an excellent option as a keeper. Last year after the IPL, Devon Conway was here in the US playing in the Major League Cricket tournament as well, playing for the Texas Super Kings, and he was the go-to keeping choice for them. So I feel like that might have been a plan in the works for the Super Kings camp, trying to get Conway into that role of being a keeper. Maybe they were planning to set things up that way for this season as well, just to kind of relieve Dhoni of some of the keeping responsibilities. But then again, if Dhoni is feeling fit and fine, he could very well continue keeping. So that way, Conway's unavailability might not be as big an impact, I guess. But I still feel, just given Conway's experience and his comfort level playing in the IPL, partnering alongside someone like Ruturaj, I think that partnership was definitely a big boost for CSK. So having Conway not available for most of the tournament this time, I think that will definitely be a key blow for them. The other thing, I guess, CSK have historically, had ups and downs when they're playing away from home, and which is kind of fairly expected, I guess, because you build your team around the fact that you're playing 7 games at home, so you want to kind of build a team that will suit your home conditions more than when you're traveling away. But having said that, I think CSK can definitely look at improving a little bit more when they're traveling outside, going to some of these other grounds, and trying to pick up some key victories there. So that will be an area that they would want to look into. But having said that, I think if they could finish as the champions last time around without a couple of key players, then I feel like this time around shouldn't be any different with respect to what they can achieve, given that they have some of these additions in the roster now. So no reason why I would expect them not to qualify this time around. But yeah, so that's the summary of their changes and strengths and weaknesses. Just want to quickly do a review of what my predicted playing 12 would be, and I'm saying playing 12 just because of the impact sub rule that we have now. So instead of calling out 11 players and one impact sub, which could be different based on whether the team is batting first or bowling, I'm just going to put out a flat list of 12 players, and depending on when the team is whether the team is batting first or bowling, you can pick out or sit out one batsman or bowler accordingly. So it's easy to kind of understand as well. Right, so my pick for the starting 12, number 1, Ruturaj Gaikwad. Excellent season last time as well, and he's just been growing into this very mature opening batter. I think he's just been growing from strength to strength over the last several years. I think he enjoys that sense of responsibility at the top. So he's kind of a no-brainer for opening the innings for CSK. To partner with him, without Devon Conway, I'm going to pick Rachin Ravindra just to come in as a like-for-like replacement. Not exactly a like-for-like, but at least he's a left-hander. He's used to playing at the top of the innings as well. So it might be a great opportunity to explore that partnership. I think the two youngsters in Ruturaj and Rachin, I think they can definitely create some chaos amongst most bowling units right at the top. So we'll have to wait and watch, but I would definitely probably start the season with Rachin Ravindra as the opening partner for Gaikwad. At number 3, Ajinkya Rahane. No surprises there, given the season that he had last year. No reason to meddle with any changes in this position or in his role. Same instructions again to him. Just go out, play freely, be as aggressive as you can. Just take the attack to the bowling, and the same recipe should be employed again, and hopefully comes off for him and the team. Number 4. Now, this is where I was a little bit confused, primarily because we've seen someone like a Moeen Ali playing in that position previously. But I do feel like with some other spin options that the team has, they might not necessarily have to rely on Moeen Ali this time around. So my pick actually at number 4 would be Daryl Mitchell to start with. Again, Daryl Mitchell has been in tremendous form with the bat over the last couple of years. He's made some remarkable contributions to the team, to New Zealand, whenever he's got a chance to bat there. He does provide a medium pace option as well, and he's definitely more than capable of plugging in a couple of overs during the bowling as needed. So I think Daryl Mitchell probably is a better fit at number 4. Followed by Shivam Dube at number 5. Again, kind of touched upon Dube previously. He just needs to keep doing whatever he's been doing, and I think no reason to change anything on that side as well. So Dube at number 5, and then in at number 6, Mr. Ravindra Jadeja. Again, I don't anticipate any need to change things around there as well. Of course, depending on how confident Dhoni is feeling about his fitness and his batting, he might want to trade places with Jadeja if needed. But otherwise, Ravindra Jadeja at number 6, and the man himself, MS Dhoni, at number 7. I think that 1 to 7 is a very, very strong batting lineup, and it gives a lot of options with respect to the kind of surfaces that they might be playing in. I think there are folks there who are very comfortable, playing on turning pitches or slow pitches like the ones you would find at Chepauk or at Eden Gardens, for example. But they're also equally equipped to handle some of the quick tracks like you would see at Wankhede or Chinnaswamy. So I think that number 1 to 7 lineup looks really, really strong. At number 8, I think this is where, again, they have an option. They could go back to their trusted Lord Thakur this time. Since he's back, I think he can definitely be a great addition to the roster. Again, someone who's known as a wicket taker. He has a keen knack of picking up wickets and breaking partnerships as the team needs, but also can be very handy with the bat too, as we've seen in a few instances. So I think he fits that number 8 role perfectly, but again, there's an option here. If they want to experiment with the young kid Samir Rizvi, this would be the position for him, I guess. That way, the rest of the batting is kind of taking up most of the responsibility, and then he comes in towards the end and has that flexibility to just open his arms and then go for some big hits. So that could be an option that they look at as well. Again, Thakur probably to start with, and they can look at bringing Rizvi into the fold just because he's still very young. They can look to bring him in as needed. But I think they're looking at Rizvi more as a longer term investment, I guess. We'll just have to wait and see how much they utilize him this time around. At number 9, Deepak Chahar. Great for CSK that he's back and fully fit again. When he gets going, devastating with the new ball, swinging it both ways. When he's playing for CSK, he's a different beast altogether. And again, just one of those players that Dhoni just brings the best out of. And even with the bat, can be pretty handy as well. So I think he just seamlessly slots into the number 9 position. Number 10, I have Mahesh Theekshana. Again, one of those mystery spinners that a lot of folks still haven't been able to figure out very well. There are days when he can be a touch on the expensive side, but I think he still has that element of mystery, and he has that guile and wit to be able to outfox any batter. So I think he definitely slots in directly as well. And then at 11 you have Mukesh Chaudhary. He's had a couple of excellent seasons already, and I think he's earned his right to be in that starting lineup for CSK, and he's made a good enough impact to be there, and I think he'll definitely be a great addition. So that new ball pair of Deepak Chahar and Mukesh Chaudhary, I think, will be pretty devastating, and it's always nice to have that luxury of having two Indian seamers as your power play specialists. That'll be great to watch. And finally, at number 12, Matisha Pathirana. Again, someone who had a fantastic season last year, was one of the key reasons why CSK were able to pick up some crucial wins in the middle of the tournament, and that's where he kind of came into his own. And as the tournament progressed, he really settled into his role very well and was very comfortable, and knew exactly what the team wanted of him, and he was able to deliver that. Right, so that would be my starting 12 for the team. So the overseas players here obviously are Rachin Ravindra, Daryl Mitchell for me, then Mahesh Tikshana and Matisha Pathirana. Great combination. Definitely a gun team for playing at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium. But even while they're traveling, I think they have enough skills and the quality of players there to be able to win some crucial matches. My prediction, I don't see any reason why they would not finish in the top 4 this time around as well. If even half this squad kind of starts the season off in good form, I think they'll be in great position. Like I said, I think as long as they can capitalize on their home games, I think they're bound to have a good season. It's going to be very hard to write off a team like CSK to not make it into the top 4. So I'm going to predict that they will be in the top 4. Very likely a strong contender for the top 2 as well, to be playing the qualifier 1 directly. Right, so that was my preview for Chennai Super Kings. Again, probably will have another strong season. Can they use this as a chance to go one up over Mumbai Indians and get their 6th title? Time will tell. Dhoni probably knows, because he's the mastermind, and he probably senses that this is his golden opportunity to do one better than MI at this point, and I'm sure he'll be gunning for that 6th title. Right, so thank you so much for joining Willow and Leather. This was the team preview for Chennai Super Kings. Stay tuned for more videos on previews for all the other teams in the league as well. Let me know in your comments, what do you think about CSK's chances, any differences in the starting 12 that you would see, or you would like to slot in different players in different positions. Please do let me know, and don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe to this channel. Like I said, IPL just around the corner. We'll be doing a lot of fun videos and content for this channel over the next couple of months, so please do stay tuned. Thank you so much everyone for joining in. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.